So it was interesting, yeah, to hear all these different experiences from all these different Salvation Army contexts, from West Africa, from India, from South America. Quite exciting, I think, to hear of different people's experiences of engaging with their community. I think for me, it was interesting because like you had engagement at the very individual level, and then you had sort of, whole communities being engaged. And that for me was really exciting. And to also see how the Salvation Army was able through that engagement to kind of establish ministry in a whole new area. And then also from the example from South America to actually re-establish with a community where they'd had presence for 50, 60 years, and perhaps really to kind of update themselves with knowledge of the community and really where the Salvation Army mission should be going, should be heading at this time. So very, very interesting for me. I don't know what you two thought.
I agree. Amazing stories coming out from across the world with people at different levels within the organization, different communities, but same principles, same approach, and same heart for mission. Mm. What I like about the stories that we have heard on the videos and the testimonies that people have shared, all of them have been the foundation of the development and the discussion in producing what we are launching today. Mm-hmm. Learning program we are launching today is founded on those stories that we learned in different workshops, different platforms, different countries and different contexts. But all of it, what is identical is the mission element of the Salvation Army and working around and coming alongside our local communities. And the demonstrations of those communities and how it comes out differently, same lessons, same experience, how the results all about working and building relationships in local community, achieving change and transformation at local community level. At the same time, people growing as they're doing that. It's quite amazing to see that across the world.
Yeah, I agree, Stanford. And I think it was really interesting for me to see how it was the communities themselves that were actually really kind of engaged with the process and really kind of owning the programs and the solutions and the outcomes. So that for me was incredibly interesting to hear.
It was so exciting to learn about the community's response, that once you start on something, then people do want to join. And they do open up and relationships are built and change does happen. And so it's really, really exciting to learn about this through our stories that was just shared.
Definitely. There is potential for change and transformation in individuals and in communities. Mm-hmm. And in most of these communities are just waiting for someone to activate that change. And the stories that we heard today, most of the people were sharing their stories. They acted it as facilitators, activating those conversations and leading to all the changes and the stories of success that we have heard in part of the presentations.
Yeah, it was also interesting for me to see how far some of them were also prepared to go outside of their comfort zone, to really engage with communities on the issues that were real to them, the things that were most important to them, even if the Salvation Army hadn't had large experience with some of those things before. They were willing to kind of get stuck in, to come alongside and to do things with people. So that for me was also quite key to note, the fact that they didn't go in with preconceived ideas. They actually went in to hear and to listen for the community's priorities and then to work with those.
It was a process of action and reflection. And as more action happened, more reflection happened, and there was an adaptation, and that there was a deepening of the relationship. And so it's true, Stanford, this is an approach, and we teach that in Learning Pathways, and it's part of what we developed together. And so just to round this section of the Learning Pathways launch off, we would like to take your questions. And so please just write them to us, and we will not answer them today in this launch, but we will answer them to you in days that are coming.